today's chapter, which is 22nd. Here we will see Bala Saheb Mirikar, Bapu Saheb Bhuti, Amir Shakhart, Hemapant as Baba's opinion regarding killing of serpent, that is snake. The preliminary readings. How to mediate? No one has been able to fathom the nature of form of Almighty. Even the Vedas and the thousand-tongued Sheshnaga. Sheshnag is the king of serpent, as not able to describe it fully, but the devotees, as the dark fortnight of every month wears out gradually, the moonlight also wanes in the same degree, and the new moon day. On the first day, the moon is not seen. On the second day, she is not clear. Then the people asked to see moon through an opening between two branches of the tree. And when they begin to see this aperture eagerly and concentratedly, the distant small crescent of moon comes beautifully. Shirdi had become a place of pilgrimage on account of Baba's stay. People from all quarters began to flock there. Both rich and the poor benefited irrespective of the religion. That was the wonderful natural knowledge and blessed by him. Who could experience one of these? Sometimes Baba observed long silence, his dissertations on Brahman. At other times he was conscious bliss incarnate, surrounded by his devotees. Sometimes he spoke in parables, and at other times he indulged in wit or humor. At times he was quite clear, and at times he seems to be raged. His teachings in nutshell, but later he argued at length. Many a time he was very plain and simple. In this way, Baba gave varied instructions to all, according to their requirements, or longing to see his face, to talk with him and hear his leelas. That was never satisfied. Still, we were overflowing with joy. Now, let us talk about Bala Saheb Mirikar. Bala Saheb was a son of Shirdhar Kaka Saheb Mirkar, who was Malmatdar of Kopargaon. Malmatdar is a authority who undertakes 50 villages about revenue incomes. Kopargaon is a village. He was going to tour to Chitali. On the way, he came to Shirdi to see Baba. When he went to the masjid and prostrated before him and commenced a beautiful conversation about health, when Baba sounded a note of warning. Do you know our Dwarka Mai? As Baba Sahib did not understand, he kept quiet. Then Baba continued, This is our Dwarka Mai where you are sitting. She wards off all dangers and anxiety of his children, who sit on her lap. This Masjid Mai is very merciful. She is the mother of simple devotees whom she will save in calamities. Once a person sits here, relieved of all troubles. He who rests in her shade gets the bliss. Then Baba gave him the sacred ashes and placed his protecting hand on his head. When Bala Saheb was about to depart, he again said, Do you know the Lamba Baba? Lamba Baba means a tall gentleman. By saying this, Sai Baba referring to a snake which is long. And then, closing the left arm with his fist, he brought it near the right elbow and moving his left arm like a hood of serpent, and said, He is so terrible, but what can he do to the children of Dwarka Mai? When the Dwarka Mai protects, what can the serpent do? Who were present there were curious to know the meaning of all and its reference to Mirikar, but none had courage to ask about Baba and what he was uttering to. Later, Bala Sahib saluted and left the masjid with Shama Sahib. Baba called Shama back and asked him to accompany Bala Sahib and enjoy the Chitali trip. Shama came to Bala Sahib and told him that he would go with him according to his wish, upon which Bala Sahib replied that he do not come as it would be inconvenient. Shama returned to Baba and told him what Bala Sahib said. Listening to this, Baba said, "All right, do not go if he doesn't want. We should mean well. Whatever is destined to happen will happen." In the meanwhile, Bala Sahib thought over it again and calling Shama asked to accompany him. In doubt, both left in a tanga. Tanga is a horse and a cot. They reached Chitali at 9 p.m. and encamped in the Maruti temple. Maruti is another name for Lord Hanumana. The office people had not come, so they sat quiet in the temple and chit-chatting. Bala Sahib was sitting on mat reading a newspaper. His uparani was spread across. Uparani is in Marathi culture it is known as dhotar. It is the lowers that was spread across, and at the corner there was sitting an unobserved snake. He began to move with a rustling sound which was heard by the peon or the attendant. He brought a lantern, saw that the snake raised an alarm. Bala Sahib was frightened and began to shiver. Shama ji was also amazed. The snake got down slowly from the west and it moved away from Bala Sahib immediately, and they killed it. Thus, this calamity, which was prophesied by Baba beforehand, was averted, and Bala Sahib's love for Baba was deeply confirmed. Now we will listen to another story from the Bapu Sahib Booty. A great astrologer named Nana Sahib Dengle told one day about Bapu Sahib Booty, who was then in Shirdi. "Today it's an auspicious day for you. There is danger to your life." This made Bapu Sahib restless. When they, as usual, came to masjid, Baba said, "Bapu Sahib, what does this Nana say? He foretells death for you? Well, you need not to be afraid. Tell him boldly. Let us see how death kills." Then later, the evening, Bapu Sahib went to this privy for easing himself where he saw a snake. His servant saw it and lifted a stone to strike it. Bapu Sahib asked him to get a big stick, but before the attendant returned with the stick, the snake was seen moving away and soon disappeared. Bapu Sahib remembered Baba's word of fearlessness. Now click the link and listen to the part 2 for chapter 22. Om Sai Ram.